Hello guys and welcome. I'm to another Super Smash Bros. 4 discussion. This time we're going to be discussing the final character roster for Smash Bros. 4 3DS and Wii U. I'm Ginger Ninja Gamer and let's get started. Alright, so I'm by myself, even though I said that someone else would be with me, but everyone bailed, so that sucks, but oh well. It's okay, we'll get through this, and it'll be awesome. So, with the leak that was put out a while ago, several weeks ago, actually. This is supposedly the roster, but the person, well, according to one of these weeks, last week's screenshots of the day, there will be a little padlock on the character screen for the for All-Star mode. And this leaker put out All-Star mode, and it had the padlock. So, that suggests that this is not the final character roster. Also, seeing as though that Sakurai puts so much effort into his menus and stuff, I highly doubt that he would have so much negative space down there with just a bland gray color. So, that really suggests that there are more characters to fill up this roster. Also, it could explain some of the weird placement for some of these characters, as some people have been pointing out for this roster. Although I don't think it's particularly that weird, but oh well. So as you can see, if you move over the second to last row all the way over and match up Ness with Fox to make the row even, or make the columns even. You can fit one more character there, and then if you match up Shulk with Ness and Fox as well, to make that column even as well, you can fit 5 characters on the bottom. So that leaves 6 more characters that could potentially be in this game. Now, that is really awesome. Even though this leak gave away a lot of information and things that Sakurai hasn't even said anything about yet, it's nice to know that we still have some surprises coming up. If, of course, that is true, my prediction is true, and there are 6 more characters. So yeah, with the demo of Super Smash Bros. 4 for 3DS in Japan coming today, actually, there are lots of speculation as to what the final game is going to be. Also, they said that on Saturday, Nintendo of America will be streaming the final version of Super Smash Bros., which suggests that, obviously, the game is finished. So, that's pretty cool. If we're going to get any more character reveals, then it's going to be happening very soon, and possibly on Saturday. I don't know if we'll get another character reveal. Possibly we could, maybe not, I don't know. But, assuming that there are 6 more characters, I have put together a list of potential characters that could fill up these remaining 6 slots. So, let's get started. Okay, first on this list is Mewtwo. Okay, so I know it's might just be partially me really wanting Mewtwo to come back, but the other part of me is saying, why the heck not? I mean, if the leak is true, which I'm pretty sure it is at this point, they at least had some inside knowledge as to some of these characters. Obviously, Shulk's model is legit, and we saw some footage of Bowser Jr. and other things. So, for this video, let's go ahead and assume that the leak is true. But if he's going to bring Dr. Mario back, come on, that would just be an absolute just like F you to everyone who wanted Mewtwo back, if he didn't bring Mewtwo as well. I mean, Sakurai's a troll, but he wants to troll people sometimes, but he doesn't want it that bad to where he's just gonna like stomp on every Mewtwo fan out there. That's just cruel. I mean, come on, if Dr. Mario's back, and there are 6 more characters coming, why not Mewtwo? Come on, it wouldn't be too hard. You just have to update the model and give him his same moveset. Of course, he would have to come up with a Final Smash as well and do some custom movesets as well. He'd have to do a little bit of work, but the thing is like, it's worth it for Mewtwo. You would please so many fans. Sakurai, if you're listening and Mewtwo's not in the game, please just put him in there. I would love it. So yeah, I honestly think he could go off his melee moveset. He wouldn't really even be a clone of Mewtwo or Lucario all that much, just because his standard special is the same. That doesn't mean he's a clone. He performs a lot differently than Mewtwo does, just in general. So he'd be a pseudo newcomer as well, which is really cool. I really hope he brings it back. I can't even stress that enough. And I feel like the evidence is actually pointing towards him coming back just because of Dr. Mario being there. I mean, come on. At least, like, if he was going to bring back a melee character, just think about it. Why would he bring back Dr. Mario over characters like Roy, Mewtwo, even Pichu might have even been a better idea because of the fact that, I mean, he's even more different than Dr. Mario is. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not upset that Dr. Mario is coming back. He's welcome back into the roster, but if he came in over Mewtwo, a lot of people would be very upset. So I think that Sakurai would actually bring Mewtwo back if he's bringing back Dr. Mario as well. So yeah, throughout this video also I do want to say one more thing before we continue. Feel free to comment on any of these characters in the comment section below. I'd really like to hear your opinions on certain characters and even like if you think I'm terribly wrong or whatever. But yeah, so please do that. That'd be great. So yeah, we'll move on to the next character. Alright, here we go. This one is the Ice Climbers. Now, I know what you're thinking. The leaker said that they were cut and that they were going to be DLC, but then he later came out and said that that was a lie. And so I choose to believe that the Ice Climbers could still be in there. A lot of people argue against them being in the game, saying that, oh, it lags the game, and Sakurai said that he was having trouble. Well, my thing is, why would Sakurai even mention the Ice Climbers and him having trouble putting them into the game if they weren't going to be in the game? That makes absolutely no sense. If he was just going to say, oh yeah, we had trouble putting Ice Climbers on the 3DS system because it lagged when 4 people played as Ice Climbers, why would he say that? Why wouldn't he just throw them aside and cut them from the game? Also, that's a very unique character. If you're going to cut characters from Smash Bros. And without a technical reason or limitations behind the system, why cut the Ice Climbers? I mean, obviously, Rob would have been a more fitting choice to cut. Not that I hate Rob or anything. I'm not trying to hate on Rob, but I'm just saying Ice Climbers came from Melee. I think that they kind of deserve to come here a little bit more than Rob. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Rob, and I think that he has every right to come back, but I feel that Ice Climbers should as well. Also, Rosalina and Luma would probably, I would think, would lag the system just as much as the Ice Climbers. So, I mean, I think that the evidence that I've stated there definitely points towards the Ice Climbers coming in to the game and being one of those last characters in the slot, 6 slots. Although I do wonder why the Ice Climbers would actually be one of the last characters you unlocked, because assuming that the player who leaked it didn't have all the characters unlocked, and there were only 6 more to unlock, I don't know why the Ice Climbers would be one of the characters that was last unlocked. But I don't know. That could just be because it was something that the player did not do that would unlock them or something. I don't know. I don't know how exactly you would unlock certain characters in this game, so I can't really say, but I feel like Ice Climbers are definitely in there, assuming that there are 6 roster slots left. So yeah, let's go on to the next character. Alright, here we have Dixie Kong. And I know a lot of you guys are saying, oh, Dixie Kong's lame, why would you put Dixie Kong over King K. Rool? Okay, now this is my 2 cents in this. Now, Dixie Kong was a rumored character that was cut from Brawl. All the 2 other rumored characters that were cut from Brawl were the Mii's and the Villager. Both of those characters are in the new game, and I feel like Dixie Kong is also in the game. Now, also, when you think about characters that haven't been revealed yet, and, we have Bowser Jr., we have Duck Hunt Dog, those are newcomers, and then we have Dark Pit and Dr. Mario, pseudo-newcomer at least. I feel like we're gonna have some clones in there. Now, Dixie Kong wouldn't be a full clone due to the fact that her hair would serve as her up special rather than the rocket barrel. But I think that Dixie Kong would end up being mostly a clone in the sense that Dr. Mario is to Mario or Falco is to Fox, where the moves are similar but not exactly the same. Falco is still a clone of Fox. I don't know. I don't really know how to compare it exactly, but I guess the best comparison would be Luigi to Mario, where Luigi has some different movesets different special attacks than Mario does, but he's still more or less a clone because of the mostly similarity. I can't even talk. But because of a lot of similarities between the 2 characters, the same up special, same standard special, but he'd be sort of a clone. Dixie Kong would be sort of a clone to Diddy Kong, which you don't have to change too much, which is why I believe that Dixie Kong would be an addition that could definitely be here. Alright, so the next character. Here we go. Okay, guys, now this is the part where the absolute evidence just kind of goes away, although not really, because this one I'm trusting a leak, like a separate leak other than the one that I was showing at the beginning. Now this one is going off the Gamatsu leak. Okay, so the Gamatsu leak, I actually personally believe that the Gamatsu leak is still true, because Sakurai has come out and said that the only character that the Gamatsu leak got wrong, Chrom, was supposed to be in the game. He said that he could not make Chrom much different from any of the other Fire Emblem characters, and decided that Lucina would be a better fit for a clone of Marth, rather than Chrom. Therefore, that's where we got Lucina rather than Chrom. So, the Gamatsu leak probably got their information before Sakurai made the change, which is why I believe that the Gamatsu leak is still true. Come on, the Gamatsu leak predicted Wii Fit Trainer. Did anyone else predict that? I don't think so. So I think the Gamatsu leak is true at this point. So the Chorus Men have to be in there at some point. Now, I can't really say much about them, other than the fact that I would love to see them in there, and a lot of people also do believe that the Chorus Men are in there. Also, rhythm-based moves, that would be really cool. So I'm actually kind of a musician myself, so rhythm-based moves kind of intrigues me because of the fact that I actually really enjoy music, and Guitar Hero was my jam, so that was a game that I did enjoy playing a lot. Now, at this point, though, this is where some speculation comes into play after this character. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide, and before I talk about this, but this is more my speculation rather than facts that I have found. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I thought about it, and I was really debating what franchise could get another representative. At first, I thought that Earthbound could get another representative due to the fact that Lucas was being cut, or bring back Lucas, of course. But I honestly, my friend Cian Savage, I'm gonna go ahead and give him some cred for that, for this. But he said that, I mean, like, Nintendo doesn't really necessarily care about Earthbound as much, so I feel like they're not gonna really care to replace Lucas, which I thought that Pooh would be a great character to put in the game, just because he's a funny looking character, honestly. I actually have not played Earthbound. I know, shame on me, it's supposed to be really good, but whatever. That's one of the few Nintendo franchises that I have not played a game of yet. But the franchise that I think deserves another character the most is Legend of Zelda. Now, this is one of their most successful franchises, obviously. Mario has like 8 characters, especially if you count Yoshi, which I actually consider him to be a Mario character, as well as Wario, counting them. I know Wario, Yoshi, they have their own games, but they're still part of the Mario universe, so I consider them to be Mario characters. But yeah, so I think Legend of Zelda deserves another character. Now, I know the characters on your screen are not exactly the character, might not be the character that it is. I thought that Impa would be a really cool character. I know it probably would not be the Hyrule Warriors interpretation of Impa, which I wish it was, because that would be really cool, but I doubt it because of the time frame for that game. But an Impa that could be a slower, more powerful clone of Sheik, possibly, would be cool. Maybe just change up a little bit. I don't know, because I don't know if that would exactly work. Also, I think that we need another bad guy, which would be really cool to get, like, Ganon. Although I know Ganon is kind of part of Ganondorf's Final Smash. I know they're kind of the same person, but not really, because Ganondorf is definitely different from Ganon. But, I know some of you guys would be like, oh, Ganondorf, he's the same. But if you know Legend of Zelda, you know that he's different. Also, Vati would be a really cool villain character from Wind Waker. Girahim was also a choice, but obviously he was just deconfirmed as a character due to him becoming an assist trophy, which is actually really cool. I would also like to see Vati as an assist trophy if he does not make playable character status. Also, Tetra would be a really good idea, just because of the fact that it could be kind of like a Toon Zelda type thing. I don't know. Toon Zelda would obviously be another character as well. Ruto would be kind of cool, just because she can do a lot of water attacks that kind of like she can in Hyrule Warriors, which would be cool. Also, a Goron character, Darunia. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. I can never say it right. I feel like I can't, at least. So yeah, I think those would all be some pretty good characters, but I definitely think that if there are 6 characters left on this roster, I feel like Legend of Zelda definitely is a franchise that deserves another character. Alright, so now we're going to go to the next slide, which is really up to viewer speculation as well as just general public speculation, because of the fact that I can't really predict that much. Now, this is what I'm calling the wild card slot. Now, this is a character that we can't exactly predict. Now, these are some things that I kind of thought of that would be kind of cool. Crystal, because obviously Star Fox needs something to replace Wolf, because apparently he's getting cut. So, I mean, and also it's actually really cool. Wolf was supposed to be one of Fox's alternate costumes, I believe, actually, based on one of the Japanese demos that there was. You can find that somewhere. I actually have not seen it myself. My friend Iron Twins on the last video actually told me that on our last discussion. So I thought that was actually really cool. So I guess Wolf is getting cut if that is the case. So I think that Crystal would be very well accepted. A lot of people want Crystal. She could replace Wolf easily. She could use a staff, which would be very different. She could have different A attacks. I mean, most people play either GameCube controller or Wiimote nunchuck, something like that. A lot of people don't play just straight up Wiimote, but I guess 2 attack for the 2 button, just like regular standard attacks. She could use her staff for that, as well as she has a gun, so she could be kind of a little bit cloney of Falco Fox. I hope not, though. I would really hope that she would be a different character. As well as Isaac. We have not seen Isaac as an assist trophy this time, which leads me to believe that he could possibly be a playable character. That would be awesome. I would absolutely love that. Isaac is my number one character that I'm pulling for right now, out of all these characters, just because he would be so cool. Golden Sun needs some representation. Again, we haven't seen him as an assist trophy, so that proves his little evidence. I hope that he at least comes back as an assist trophy, if not a playable character. But I do believe that could be a really cool character. After Robin, my number one character, came up, I thought that Isaac would definitely be a character that could work for my, I guess, favorite character to come in at this point, at least. Also, I thought that Rayman might make he would make a very good, pretty cool character, as well as he's kind of like a well-known franchise, so that's kind of cool. He represents Ubisoft, which has been pretty good to Nintendo because of the fact that they have been giving some third-party support to them, and I think that as a return, I think that it would be really cool if Nintendo could put one of their characters, being Rayman, into their Smash Bros. Game. We already saw Rayman being a trophy, which actually proves as some little evidence, like very slim evidence, but we actually did see Robin as a trophy before we saw anything of him being playable status, so who knows? Also, I thought that the Bonker from the Kirby series, because Kirby needs a little bit more representation. I think that 4 characters for the Kirby franchise would be very good, just because of the fact that, Kirby's one of the big 4, as well as Zelda, so Zelda, Kirby could get some good representation, I think so. Pokemon has good representation, Mario has good representation, Zelda has pretty good representation. I think that Kirby should get 4 characters. Come on, he's one of the only... That is the only franchise that does not have at least 4 characters in their roster. Also, I think that Bonker could be sort of a clone of King Dedede, if that could work. I don't know. Because he does have a hammer, he could use some of the same standard attacks as well as the same down special. He could use a similar up special as well, and side special, he could throw something. It wouldn't exactly have to be the Waddle Dees, obviously, because that probably wouldn't make very much sense, but, and obviously he can't in like King Dedede can, but he can have one move different at least, so he could be sort of a clone, similar to, as I was talking with Dr. Mario to Mario, where he has different moves, slightly different moves, and one move that is very different. But yeah, so what do you guys think? I really want to get some people talking about what these final characters could be. I really hope that some of my predictions do come true. I have called some pretty big things. Like, I did call Robin, I called Little Mac. That one wasn't too hard to call. But yeah, I did also called Bowser Jr., so not in the exact way that I thought that he would play, not being in the Clown Copter, but I did make some pretty good predictions, so hopefully some of these will also be correct. But yeah. So please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And thanks for watching. Matinee.